Strange New Worlds Season 3 is in production right now, and I have a question for all of you. What side of the aisle are you on when it comes to the likability of this show? Are you on that side that says, yes, I can't wait to see more of this because I really enjoy it? Or are you on the other side of that aisle saying that this show should never have been made, it's destroying the history of Star Trek, and it hurts the franchise? Me, personally, I'm in the middle on this. I'm more on the side of it hurts the history, but it does have some positives to it. There have been a few episodes that I have enjoyed, but I think I have found a way for everyone to be a little more neutral or in the middle of the aisle with this one. But we will discuss that later on in the video. One of the things that bother me about Strange New Worlds, well, what about Lon Noonien Singh here, relative or genetic relative of Khan, go into an alternate timeline to pick up Captain Kirk to go back in time to repair the timeline of her genetic ancestor Khan Noonien Singh, which has been damaged by the Romulans because they wanted to stop the Federation in the future time. Oh, and yes, of course, how can we forget about the fact that Spock and T'Pring are getting married and should not have any knowledge, or the crew of the Enterprise should have any knowledge of these two until the original series with Kirk and Spock. Strange New Worlds alters history of Star Trek canon just so it can add things to its show and make it look better. Hey, we're doing this before the original series. And when you alter these timelines, when you alter the history of these characters like Spock and Chapel and their romantic relationship in Strange New Worlds, you are making the original series impossible to watch because there's no continuity to it. And yes, of course, let's not forget the Season 2 finale, and the main villain of this show so far has been the Gorn, a race that the Enterprise and the Federation are not supposed to encounter for another 6 or 7 years when Kirk receives a distress call from Cestus 3. Now, having said all of that, I told you before that I have a way of solving this problem, and for me it works. It's starting to work, I should say. And the real easy way to handle this show is very simple. It's not in the same timeline as Kirk and Spock as the original series. It can't be. After some of the things that I just showed you, the canon violations, the things that don't belong in the past 6 years, which is where they say this show is supposed to take place, 6 to 7 years before Kirk and Spock. So the only way that this makes any sense to me is that this is in an alternate timeline. That's it. That's the only way that I am going to be able to sit through this and say, okay, it makes sense, because it didn't happen on the same timeline as the original Kirk and Spock. Okay, so I've talked negative about Strange New Worlds. Why not throw a little positive spin to it also? 2 episodes that I really did not think, when I heard about them, were going to be anything good. I thought they were going to be a bad idea. Turned out to be, I think, some of the best of the season. Those Old Scientists, where they blended the animated series Lower Deck in with the original, with the cast from Strange New Worlds, I thought they did that nicely. It was done brilliantly. I was really impressed with those Old Scientists. Now, the one episode that definitely caused a lot of controversy was Subspace Rhapsody, and you gotta admit, it's definitely a reach for Star Trek. But at the same time, you have to give these people some credit here. It takes a lot of courage to take a step out like they did here and turn it into a musical.
Why have you...
Why you only calling us when you got your dramas? One of these days we'll repay you, we'll slay you.
As I said, this episode definitely caused a lot of controversy. And listening to the Klingon hip-hop band there definitely was unique. But be honest about it. Was this really a bad episode? Each series has to have something unique about it, and damn if that wasn't unique. I'm not saying, again, I am not giving this show praise for everything that it's done. It's caused a lot of damage, but at the same time, it has left an impression on a lot of people. There is a lot to say about why Strange New Worlds is not good. I think there's positive and negatives to this show. But as long as they continue to rewrite the history and still claim that it's the same timeline as the original Star Trek, I'm going to have problems accepting this for being that way. Like I said, the only way for me to move forward with this show is to accept the premise that they are in a different timeline. It's the only thing that's going to work for me here because nothing else makes any sense. So I want to ask you this again. Are you looking forward to this next season of Strange New Worlds, or are you not? I really would like to hear your comments on this. I found an article that talked about images that they were going to show from the set of the season 3 production, but every time I clicked on it, it showed me a blank screen. Well, again, drop your comments below. I really would love to hear your comments on this one. Drop your comments below. Let me know. And until the next time, my friends, God bless.